The Quranly app. Subscription cheaper than Netflix, encouraging Quran reading, modern, engaging, and fun. Download it today.
That's a genius.
Assalamu alaikum guys, and welcome to another episode of Smile to Jannah. So yesterday the world's #1 ranked squash player Ali Faragh, who by the way is also a Harvard graduate, that's always a plus, after winning his title in the UK, had this to say.
In trouble, but you know, we've all seen what's going on in the world at the moment with Ukraine, and nobody's happy with what's going. Nobody should ever accept any killings in the world, any oppression. But we've never been allowed to speak about politics in sports, but all of a sudden now it's allowed. So that we're allowed, I hope that people also look at the oppression everywhere in the world. I mean, the Palestinians have been going through that for the past 74 years, But I guess because it doesn't fit the narrative of the media of the West, we couldn't talk about it. But now that we can talk about the Ukraine, we can talk about Palestinians. So please keep that in mind. Thank you very much.
It's worth mentioning that sports stars often get reprimanded whenever they talk or mention anything about Palestine, be it having a band or whether it's raising a flag or whatever it is. Yeah, one example we had was of Moeen Ali, who played for the English cricket team. And another example we've got is of the football club, Celtic, who also got in trouble as well. These are just two examples, yeah? There's loads. Analysts have asked why Western nations are very quick to put sanctions on Russia, but when it comes to putting sanctions on the human rights abuses of Israel, no, that's anti-Semitic. And they tried to ban that, ironically. Yeah, it's called the BDS movement, which is boycott, divestment and sanctions. You've probably heard of it. The Irish MP, Richard Boyd Barrett, said it well.
5 days sanctions against Putin and his thugs. 70 years of oppression by the Palestinians. What was the word you used? It wouldn't be helpful.
So guys, it's a short video, but I really wanted to highlight this point that firstly, the guy is awesome at sports and he's awesome at education. You got the left side of the brain, which is responsible for logic, reasoning, you know, mathematical equations and stuff like that. Then you got the right side of the brain, which is often linked with creativity, art, sport. So when as a parent or even as a student you focus on both spheres of the brain, that's when you have a chance of getting a higher IQ or well-rounded intelligence. And this comes from our tradition. Yes, when you look at all these big shots that we've got in the past, Ibn al-Haytham, yeah, whether it's Ibn Sina, it's Al-Khawarizmi, Al-Zahrawi, Al-Kindi, yeah, all of these guys from a book called 1001 Inventions of Muslim Civilization. I mean, this book needs to be in every single household, full stop, mate. But these dons of the past were known as polymaths. So polymaths are people that have mastered multiple fields. And that's why sometimes we don't enjoy being at one job, because it's within our nature not to just do one thing. This is a post-industrial revolution thing when everything had been divided into a supply chain. You were either designated for boxing or for driving or for assembling or some part of the supply chain. Back in the days, they didn't have all this. They were doing everything, mate. If you're a farmer, you're doing everything. Invest in yourself like our man, Mr. Ali Faragh. And another thing, guys, is we complain about our country and community leaders. We scapegoat them with everything. Oh, why aren't they doing this, mate? Why aren't they doing that? Look. They're going to be questioned for what they are, and you're going to be questioned for what you're doing. Islam is going to be victorious regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether we get to see it, whether we don't. So do whatever is in your power, what is under your influence, and you know, don't worry too much about things that are outside your control. Make dua for it. So yeah, do whatever is in your means, whether it's boycott, whether it's educating yourself, whether it's doing dawah. Don't underestimate anything. And this is the problem I have with sectarian people that always talk about sects and groups. What do you think about that dawah type, that group? What do you think about that group? Look, you got different groups focusing on different things. Once we learn to appreciate that everybody is a puzzle piece in the whole jigsaw, then we start appreciating everyone's role. When we start thinking, no, everyone needs to be doing what I'm doing. If everybody starts learning hadith and studying hadith, who's going to do fiqh? If everyone's doing fiqh, who's going to be teaching? If everyone's teaching, who's going to be defending people in court? So guys, may Allah accept from this brother, and may Allah give us strength, that we don't put money above everything. Enough time has gone for us to realize that we need to be brave now. We need to stand up and speak up. Obviously, not do anything silly, but within reason, like academically, physically. I would even say, like, what's wrong with learning how to shoot? What's wrong with learning how to hunt? What's wrong with learning how to camp? Because who knows if World War III was going to happen? I mean, what would happen to all this electricity and Wi-Fi and, come on, give me a break. We're probably going to end up living like our predecessors did. Food for thought, guys. Let's leave it down. Till next time. Assalamu alaikum.